Why, hello, fellow Patriots, and welcome to episode 23 on the Patriot Dad channel, where we can discuss current events and modern issues, all while keeping it as real as possible. Today we continue our series on the U.S. Constitution with a look at Article number 3. Does anyone want to take a guess what Article 3 is for? Go ahead and throw it in a comment down below. And again, don't worry about if you're correct in the beginning. The whole purpose of this series is so that I can re-educate myself on some of our founding documents, and in so doing, pass that information on to you as well. We all need a little refresher every now and again, especially if you were brought up in a public education system like I was, a liberal state where they don't really focus on civics anymore. If you guessed that Article 3 was setting up the federal judiciary, you would be correct. So we can look at the different parts. There are 3 sections to Article 3, so let's go ahead and get into the first section. So the judicial power of the United States shall be vested in one Supreme Court, and in such inferior courts as the Congress may from time to time ordain and establish. The judges, both of the Supreme and inferior courts, shall hold their offices during good behavior, and shall, at stated times, receive for their services a compensation, which shall not be diminished during their continuance in office. So we see here that this allows the creation of a Supreme Court as well as other federal courts below the Supreme Court, and that these judges will be compensated for their time. And once you are serving on the federal judiciary, your compensation cannot be lowered. They probably do that to prevent, depending on which party comes into power, not just stripping the money away from the judiciary to hurt people that are not on their team. So we continue. The judicial power shall extend to all cases in law and equity arising under this Constitution. So again, federal judiciary. The laws of the United States and treaties made and which shall be made under their authority. To all cases affecting ambassadors and public ministers and consuls. To all cases of admiralty and maritime jurisdiction. To controversies which the United States shall be a party. To controversies between 2 or more states, between a state and citizens of another state, or between citizens of different states, between citizens of the same state claiming lands under grants of different states, and between a state or the citizens thereof and foreign states, citizens or subjects. So a couple of interesting things in here is that they have jurisdiction over United States coastal waters. They have jurisdiction over controversies in which the United States itself or its government is one of the parties of the action in court, or to controversies between 2 or more states. So we saw this in the last election. There were multiple lawsuits from one state to another saying that their mismanagement of their election compromised the validity of their own, and saying that if one state mismanages its election and allows people to vote that shouldn't, it can counter the legitimate votes of a different state's citizens. That being a disagreement between 2 different states, the Supreme Court would be the one to hear that. Also, a disagreement between somebody in our country and somebody in another country. Federal courts are there for that purpose. And we continue in section 2 that in all cases affecting ambassadors and other public ministers and consuls, and those in which the state shall be a party, the Supreme Court shall have original jurisdiction. So it does not go to a different court first. A lot of the cases the Supreme Court hears start in lower courts and work their way up, and then the Supreme Court decides if they want to hear it or not. These few laid out topics here are ones where the Supreme Court is the original jurisdiction. It does not start in a lower court. In all other cases before mentioned, the Supreme Court shall have appellate jurisdiction, and that's what we just talked about, both as to law and fact, with such exceptions and under such regulations as the Congress shall make. So we see here that the legislative branch is a check and balance against the judicial branch. So they are going to be ruling on the constitutionality or the justness of a law or other decision from either the lower court or legislation. So regulations Congress can make, laws Congress can make, but the Supreme Court can override them and say that they are not constitutional and therefore not allowed to remain on the Federal Register. And to wrap up section 2, the trial of all crimes except in the case of impeachment, because the Senate conducts that trial, as we stated last week, shall be by jury, and such trial shall be held in the state where said crime shall have been committed. But when not committed within any state, the trial shall be at such place or places as Congress may by law have directed. So what if it happens on the ocean, in coastal U.S. waters? What if it happens in, let's say, Washington, D.C., which is not a state? So the Washington, D.C. is a special zone. It is not a state in and of itself. Then finally, we have Section 3. Section 3 of Article 3 goes into treason. Treason against the United States shall consist only in levying war against them or in adhering to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort. No person shall be convicted of treason unless on the testimony of 2 witnesses to the same overt act or on confession in open court. So again, it has to be 2 witnesses to the same act, not 2 different witnesses for 2 separate acts. Also, you must actually commit war against the country itself or by joining an enemy and giving them aid and comfort, support a war against this country. So interesting. Then last, Congress shall have the power to declare the punishment of treason, but no attainer of treason shall work corruption of blood or forfeiture except during the life of the person attained. So the corruption of blood is a reference to English common law, which prohibited family members from, among other things, receiving or inheriting property from a person convicted of treason. Under the Constitution, that punishment may not extend beyond the life of the person convicted of treason. So that is an interesting differentiation between U.S. constitutional law and English common law. So thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe to the channel and click the little bell icon to be notified when I upload more content. Please share the video with anybody who you deem necessary or fit, and feel free to leave a comment recommending a future topic. I've been getting a lot of recommendations for reaction videos, such as to do country music or separate Weird Al songs. So go ahead and recommend whether it's a reaction video or a topic for the discussion videos. Put something in the comment below if you're interested in seeing it. Next week, we continue our look into the Constitution with Article 4, and then the following week, we will be doing Article 5, 6, and 7 as one video. We'll also be doing some midweek reaction videos, and I will be doing a legal update video here at some point. The next reaction video after this coming Wednesdays, which will be Foil by Weird Al Yankovic, as requested by Jim War 721 in the comment section of Party in the CIA, one of my favorite reactions I've done to date. Take care, everyone. God bless, and bye for now. Go ahead and check out one of the links on the screen now to either subscribe to the channel and see the rest of the videos of the channel, or one of the carefully selected videos that you may wish to see that YouTube has used its algorithm to select for you.